On Newshour tonight, Gautam Bhattacharya, senior sports journalist, sports editor of Ananda Bazar Patrika. And with him there in our studios in Kolkata is Kishore Bhimani. From our studios in Delhi, K. Hariharan, former international umpire. Rahul Mehra is no fan of the BCCI and of IPL. He joins us from Delhi. The debate will be opening up in some time. And ladies and gentlemen, as I begin the debate, the one promise that I'd like to repeat once again. This was the first of our reports. There'll be 3 news reports between now and before 10 o'clock, which exposes how complex the web is. Mr. Kishore Bhimani, you've had opportunity, haven't you, to look at the details emerging. At least tonight, will you admit that what the BCCI is trying to do, this cover-up, is completely unacceptable? To try and tell the people of this country that only 3 people are involved in a 48,000 crore rupee scandal in every match, it's unacceptable. With this kind of money riding, Mr. Kishore Bhimani, would you like to revise the position that you took on the Newshour on Thursday last week?
Let's start with this. I'm proud of the coverage put out by Times Now today. All the details has been, it's been very thorough, very detailed, and I, as a betting man, who I understand cricket betting, which I think is perfectly legal and decent, and this is what is happening here is a perversion of betting, going into match fixing. And what we have seen today, an answer to your second question, that is whether just these 3 people are involved, any right-thinking person has got to admit that it cannot be 3 people. The kind of money riding.
No, but the BCCI says 3 people. No, the BCCI says 3 rotten eggs.
No, if you believe
the BCCI says Gautam Bhattacharya. The question is 3 rotten eggs. I've heard this. I've heard this through and through, Mr. Bhimani. I've heard this through and through. 3 rotten eggs. You believe 3 rotten eggs or more rotten eggs?
If you believe that, you'll believe that the world is flat.
Well, obviously there are more than 3. I mean, I'm a bookie, and I would like to approach a team or some players of the team. I won't go and approach Rahul Dravid's team. Come on, I won't go and approach Sachin Tendulkar's team. I won't go and approach MS Dhoni's team. They're a man of impeccable character and standing. I'd look for other teams and mostly fringe players on the fringe. I'd look for players who are either injured like Srishant. They have not earned enough during the season. And then I would look for players who are slightly doubtful, sitting on the fence. And I do know that during the IPL season, for the last 2-3 seasons, some players have either been approached or feelers were sent to them, but people are just damn scared. They did not want to get involved, so they stayed away. But at the same time, some of these players I do know did not report it to their franchisee, nor did the franchisee report it back to the board. So what
this attempted, there's something called responsibility. Gautam Bhattacharya, there's something called response. What I'm seeing here is that the BCCI is helping the franchisee distance itself from its own responsibility to what has happened in their teams. The Indian Cricket Board is telling Rajasthan Royals, go file an FIR, and by filing an FIR, Shilpa Shetty, Raj Kundra, and everyone else is completely distanced himself from what happened in the team. What is the responsibility that the franchisee owners have? It seems they have none.
Talk about the BCCI first. Forget the franchisee owners. They are the custodian of cricket in India. What have they done over the years? Gundappa Vishwanath, for instance, the man with whom the match fixing stories began in India with Asif Iqbal, where Vishwanath protested, and he sort of put an end to Asif Iqbal's motives. That's when it started in 1979 and Eden Guns. Then, succeedingly, Vishwanath penalized Manoj Prabhakar because of some mysterious connections. This was before an important final, and this is all on record that Manoj Prabhakar was suspended from 2 matches. This happened in Kanpur.
No, but there is a
none of this committee is instituted by the Indian board.
What is happening right now? What is happening right now? What is happening right now, Rahul Mehra? Yesterday we see that the BCCI has a meeting. Within half an hour of the meeting from Dubai, the ICC gives a press release saying we are very happy with what the BCCI is doing. So the BCCI and the ICC are very happy with each other. The franchisee is very happy with the BCCI, which means there are only 3 rotten eggs, and the people of this country are expected to believe that the media has gone berserk, that the media has no idea what it's talking about. And only 3 people were behind this whole racket. I mean, how much more direct can you be as far as the cover-up is concerned? Rahul Mehra, you buy this 3 rotten eggs theory?
Absolutely not. In fact, the cover-up is right there on the face for the entire nation to see. And the master of the cover-up is Srinivasan, who is having deep-rooted conflict of interest as the franchise owner. And we don't know when he held that press conference, whether it was the franchise owner of CSK speaking to the media, or was it a person who really had a well-meaning and good interest of the game of sport of cricket at his heart as the BCCI president. And let me remind you, Arnab, it's deep-rooted in many ways. Number one, you know, you don't need, all Srinivasan said was, we are helpless, we are powerless. I will give you 5 instances where BCCI doesn't need to go outside to seek anybody's help, but can start from within, from its own house. Number one, there are 9 to 10 political masters who are actually on both sides, UPA and NDA. And right from Sharad Pawar, CP Joshi, Praful Patel, Rajiv Shukla, Jyotiraditya Scindia, on the other side, Arun Jaitley, Narendra Modi, Anurag Thakur and others, who, if they want, they can get any bill passed overnight in the parliament, because that's the ruling party and the opposition party together. Are they trying to fool us by saying that they can't support a sports bill with match fixing and spot fixing having the most serious kind of offences being punished, being made punishable?
You see, number
two.
No, we'll get to everyone. No, let's start with initial observation. No, one second. One second.
Is resisting coming under RTI when every other national sporting federation
comes under
RTI.
One second. Rahul.
Technical kind of reasoning to it.
Rahul.
Number three.
Rahul, listen to me.
Franchises are corporate owners, but there is zero corporate governance in IPL. It is a den of illegal activities.
So Rahul,
they don't need an outside agency.
Rahul, if you may listen to me.
Their own act of disclosing their own shareholding patterns,
Rahul,
of stopping
Rahul, can you hear me?
Doing money,
can you hear me?
Money laundering, hawala racketing, converting black into white,
I don't think you can hear me.
Company laws and guidelines.
Rahul, you must listen to me, please. Allow me. I request you and request all panelists. The more focused that we are, we'll get more focus for our viewers. The more focused we are, we'll get more focus for our viewers. Syed Kirmani, good evening and welcome. Atul Vasan, good evening and welcome. Boria Majumdar.
Thank you so much.
Boria Majumdar, thank you for joining me. That's our big panel tonight. Now, before I come back to this panel, I want to go to exclusive news report number 2. And by the way, we're also joined by Ed Hawkins, senior sports journalist, tonight joining us via Skype from Toulouse in France. And Ed, may I begin by saying this? Can you hear me, Ed? Can you hear me, Ed?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just want to begin by saying this, that you were right and a lot of us here were wrong. Because when you brought out your book, Bookie, Gambler, Fixer, Spy, a lot of people in India felt that what you were saying had no factual basis. But when we look back, then what you wrote about, the nexus between bookies and players, which is tainting the game of cricket, is exactly what all of India is now talking about. So, Ed, you were right. I'd like to concede that right on top of the discussion. On the News Hour tonight, Mihir Bose also joining us from London. Syed Kirmani, the piece of footage which we saw shows quite explicitly that in IPL 3, some very sophisticated betting was going on. So when you see this footage, it dates back, it shows that this is not random. This was very well organized and it goes back to 2010, IPL 3. The BCCI wants us to believe there are only 3 rotten eggs. How much more needs to be exposed, Mr. Kirmani, before the BCCI wakes up?
Well, I'm sure there is quite a few behind a mastermind. There has to be a good team, obviously. You know, it is but common sense to one and all that it cannot be, you know, just the 3 of them or whoever. Now, all those names, whoever are accused of, whoever is going to be, I think the entire nexus, sometime or the other, they will have to be projected somewhere down the line.
No, but Mr. Kirmani, no basics. No, basics. The question will get more detailed. The footage which is shown, Atul Vasan shows mega bets being accessed in IPL 3. Incidentally, strategic timeout, which is I think this 5-minute break, now 2.5 minutes, was introduced in the same session, in the same year, in the same season. The idea of a strategic timeout, we were told, was to benefit advertisers and the team. But it is a known fact that the strategic timeout is used by bookies. And they are using it right under BCCI's watch. Atul Vasan, can this link be denied?
I think it's, you're right, it benefited the bookies, but it can't be said that it was created for the bookies. We know that how many 600 seconds can, the dollars which can come into the kitty of the total IPL, where the players have been paying mega millions and the franchises are paying crores and crores. So anything that comes helps. And I thought there was, it was silly to actually have a strategic break in a 20-over game, whereas where you can shout and the coaches are roaming around, you can wave, whatever. So I think it was just to create that extra kitty of money coming in the IPL. But it benefited the bookies, yes, for sure.
No, so if it benefited the bookies, no, 1 second.
10 overs, and it works for them. But just to say that,
no, if it benefited the bookies, no, point is you are admitting it benefited the bookies. Everybody knows it benefits the bookies. It has not been removed. It is very, very clearly known. It has been written about that the strategic timeout benefited the bookies, proven. News footage, this footage, which is on air right now. This footage, this footage which is on air right now, Boria, the question will be asked today that where is the BCCI anti-corruption unit? I mean, it's a joke. If the media can access bookies, if this footage is available with the media, what stops the anti-corruption wing from keeping a tab on such activities?
Arnab, first things first, you actually started with a rather sort of, how do I put it, a really grand welcome to Ed Hawkins saying he was right, we were wrong. I've got this book in front of me, it's complete nonsense. It's full of speculation, it's got nothing, and this is the kind of sensationalist junk which actually creates a lot of rubbish. We've got to be credible as part of the media. He's actually talking about the 2011 World Cup semi-final getting fixed. He's got no evidence. So please do not, on the basis of what's happened in the IPL, let's not make, sort of real powerhouses of people who have not done any service to the sport.
One second, Boria, hold on, one second. You see, I know you get very worked up on these things, but I must give Ed Hawkins a chance to respond. When I said to Ed Hawkins, he hasn't even had a say yet. One second.
Let me ask the question. Let him respond to my question. The question is, I've read this book 3 times. The question is, this book does not contain one line of defining evidence that proves World Cup 2011 between India and Pakistan was fixed. It is based on speculation.
What defining evidence? No, 1 second.